Thank you so much, Kadri. Wonderful to have the opportunity to share goal mapping with all the great people gathered here today at this Zinzino event. I've been teaching this system since 1995, so 27 years. It's used by many people. As you heard, it's over 4 million now, 5 million in fact, and it's used in different areas of life. Big business and small business use goal mapping. And one of my great passions is that more than 1 million children, primary school, secondary school, university, all creating goal maps for a brighter future in many countries. So here in Sweden with school children, and here in Africa, in Nigeria. Sports people using goal mapping. This is 3 times world champion kickboxer Katalin Konya. And next to her picture, she has her goal map. And Katalin said that in creating her goal map, it was like a supercharged visualization that gave her the edge, helped her to win the world championships. I've presented many countries, as you've heard, more than 30 countries. This is me presenting goal mapping in Finland and being interviewed for TV. I think it was in 2017. There are many magazine articles. The goal mapping book is in many languages, including Finnish. The Finnish translation has been a great success with the goal mapping book. And this article from CNN about using goal mapping to build your career. Even the world's leading coaches, such as Anthony Robbins, are recommending the system, saying how effective it is for sustainable success, ongoing success. It's a very simple system, and it's creating your goal map that really helps. And this is such an important time to be setting goals, because we are living in such a fast changing world. The world today is living faster than ever before in our recorded history. Every area of our lives is changing. The way that we work is changing, the way that we shop is changing, the way that we communicate online is changing, the way we're educated is changing. And whenever we are in a time of fast change, it's really important to remember change always brings opportunity. And the only way we can have something new, something more, something different is if there is change. And the great challenge is that many people fear uncertain change. People fear the changes they feel they are not in control of. And when we are in fear of change, the fear blinds us to the opportunity. All we are seeing is more of what we fear. Or sometimes we can see the opportunity, but the fear is freezing us and we can't step forward and take the opportunity. Sometimes the changes in life are small and sometimes they are huge. I often see them as like the wind that blows. You cannot control the wind, but you can adjust the set of the sail. If you imagine that you are on a journey in a sailing boat, the wind will change direction many times. That is outside of your control, but you can adjust the set of the sail to capture the opportunity created by the wind and use that to power you on your journey. I believe this is how life is for each of us. The personal set of our sail is our mindset. With our mindset, by choosing a positive thought, by working with a positive attitude, we empower our behavior and we are able to capture the opportunities created by change. And no matter which way the wind is blowing, if we're approaching change with the right attitude of mind, we're finding the opportunities. And we are, each of us, living in a time of great change. The world is changing faster than ever before. That is also meaning that there are great opportunities, more opportunity to go from something to greater things than ever before in our recorded history. What is so important is that we know where we want to go. that we are clear about our goals, because goals are like a beacon of light in the darkness that is helping us find our way. The clearer we are about our goals, the more the opportunities created by change can serve us. For those people that are not clear about their goals, then the wind of change becoming a storm that is driving them, and many people find themselves somewhere where they really didn't want to be because they were never clear to begin with about where was most important for them to go. By setting goals, we have that clear sight and we can maneuver and make adjustments on our path towards the things we desire to achieve. The most powerful way of setting goals I've ever found is goal mapping. Even the world's top coaches, such as Tony Robbins, has goal mapping presentation for his most important clients. You can create your goal map on paper or online. The steps of the map are the same. Always a goal map has this unique combination of words for the logical mind and imagery for the creative mind. The words are so we can be clear consciously with our conscious mind, clear about our goals and why they're important to us and when we want to achieve them, how much, how many. We can be very precise with words. We also need the imagery to stimulate our right brain, creative mind, and command our subconscious. Your subconscious mind is fantastically powerful, many thousands of times more powerful than your conscious mind. But it cannot make choices. We must command our subconscious. And this is why athletes are using visualization to enhance their performance. I've heard many interviews from the Winter Olympics where the athletes are talking about their training routine and how visualization is so important to help them give their best performance. This principle is true for everyone, not just athletes. If we want to do our best in life and we want to live our best life, then we must have our subconscious mind working with us and supporting us. And the subconscious mind is responding to pictures or imagery. This is why when people go to sleep, it's their conscious mind that is sleeping and their subconscious keeps working and produces dreams. And regardless of which language you speak, everyone dreams in pictures, because pictures or imagery is the universal language of the subconscious. And so by setting our goals in words and pictures, it helps to stimulate whole brain activation. And that allows us to be clear about our goals in our conscious mind and to command our subconscious, our fantastic autopilot, to give us great power and move towards the achievement of our goals. A goal map is made from several steps. In the center, we have a main goal, the main thing you want to achieve. And then on either side of the main goal, we have more goals. These can all be from different areas of your life, or they can all be focused on the same area of your life. At the top of the map are your motivating reasons why you want to achieve the goals. What are the benefits it will bring to your life to achieve your goals? What are the strong emotional drivers? And then when? We want a start date and an achievement date. So we have a timeline. And then how? What are the things we will need to do to move along the path towards the achievement of the goal? And then finally, who? Who is going to help in taking the actions that move us towards the goal? 7 simple steps that create your goal map. Step 1, use your right brain creativity and imagination. Have a daydream about what it is that you want to achieve for any area of your life. There may be many things. It's important to have a main thing, a main goal. And so the second step is to work with left brain, logical mind, to analyze your goals and to identify which one goal, once achieved, most helps me to achieve the others. That main goal goes into the center of the map with the other goals either side. And then to map it out using words and pictures to start to form the map. And then step 4, why, and then when, and then how, and who. 7 simple steps, 7 questions to ask yourself and to capture your answers in words and pictures. So it's creating your goal map and helping you to be at your very best. Teaching goal mapping has been such an amazing journey for me. I was born into a traveling gypsy, fun fair and circus family. And here on the screen are my great uncle and great aunt, who were circus performers in one of the oldest circuses here in the United Kingdom. This is my great grandmother's fun fair and her traveling wagon. This is a painting of Pinner Street Fair in London. This is my grandfather's fun fair on my father's side of the family. And again, this picture taken in London at the Olympia exhibition. This is my father's fun fair. And I was born into this life. Growing up, I always had 3 different homes each year. I had one home traveling around on the fun fair. I had another home on the Isle of Wight in the south of England, where I still live now. And we would go to the Isle of Wight every year for 4 months to open our fun fair amusements for the tourist industry. And then I had a third home just outside of London, which was our winter base, where we would park all of the fun fair equipment for the very cold winter months. And then the pattern would repeat again. So every year I had 3 different homes and 3 different sets of friends, and always 2 or more schools each year, and no school while we traveled with the fun fair. I only went to school for 5 months each year, divided between different schools. I never ever sat any exams in my life. I have no qualifications. I left school just before I was 13, and I never learned to read and write. And so I worked with my father, helping him to run the family business. And gradually the family business on the Isle of Wight grew more and more. We opened many tourist amusement arcades. And at 18, my father encouraged me to move the family business in a new direction, and I become the youngest person ever in England to be given a license to open a disco. It became really successful. It was in many music magazines. There were documentaries made about the place. We had pop stars, celebrities come in. It was a great success. And I stayed in that business 13 years, but at the end of the 13 years, a more change came. And the change was affordable airfare. English people started taking their main holiday each year in a place that was hot, at Canary Islands or in the Mediterranean somewhere. And they stopped coming to the Isle of Wight, and business died. So at age 29, I found myself in a very difficult situation. The family business came to an end. I was in much debt, £1 million of debt. This was 1993, and my home was repossessed. My business was repossessed. I was on social income support, government support for the first time in my life. I had nowhere to live. My marriage come to an end because of the pressure. I had no qualifications because I left school at 13 and I couldn't read and write. Life was looking very dark and I was very scared. And some friends offered me an opportunity. I didn't know what I would do, but they offered me an opportunity to join them in their network. And I joined them doing their network marketing and direct sales. And at first I wasn't very good at it, but it became the greatest thing in my life. And not only because it helped me to start to build an income, but because it introduced me to mindset training and personal development. And at the very first workshop I went to, I started to learn about the power and the science of positive thinking. It started with this statement from Henry Ford: whether you think you can or think you can't, you are right. And I expect almost everyone listening today and viewing have heard this statement before, and I had heard it before. But the thing that was new for me on this day was that it was explained to me the science behind the saying and the reason why it's important to set clear and powerful goals. Each of us have many brain cells, 100 billion brain cells. And each one of your 100 billion brain cells or neurons, represented by the black dot here on the screen, grows arms and branches called dendrites. And when we have a thought, the thought is starting in the middle of the brain cell. It travels out along the arm and branch. It wants to connect with another arm and brain cell, so we can form a pattern of thought and generate ideas. But there's a small gap that separates all of the brain cells. It's called the synaptic gap. Here is the key point to understand. If the thought you choose to think is positive, if you choose a positive thought about yourself, if you choose a positive thought about your life, if you choose a positive thought about an area of your life, the positive thought starts in the middle of the brain cell, it travels out along the arms and branches, and it triggers the release of a chemical into your brain and body called serotonin. Serotonin is the chemical that gives us the feeling of happiness and well-being. If you focus your mind onto something very, very positive, a happy memory from your past, or some good thing you believe is coming for the future, as you focus your mind, it releases serotonin, and the serotonin gives you the feeling of happiness. Every emotion we have is created by neurotransmitter chemicals that are released from our brain and our body. And what is releasing the chemicals is our thoughts, our beliefs, our consciousness. Here is the next key thing to understand. Serotonin is also a neuroconductor. It's bridging the synaptic gaps. It's joining the brain cells together, and it's allowing your thought impulse to continue on its journey so that you build a positive pattern of thought. And it's this joining together of brain cells that gives us that aha moment, where we have that light bulb idea. We find an answer to our problem. We find a solution to the challenge we face. We find a new way forward. It's the brain cells joining, releasing the serotonin, get a little good feeling from it. And because we're making more connections in our brain, we're able to come with ideas and answers to problems. Once the brain cells join, they also separate again. And so this is what's important to remember. Brain cells that fire together, if we repeat the same thought, if we remind ourselves of our goal, gradually we strengthen the brain cell connection. Brain cells that fire together start to wire together. The connection becomes established. It takes around 10 to 30 days, depending on the strength of the goal that you are setting. But gradually, as you make more and more connections, you build belief in yourself. A belief is an established brain cell connection. This means this. I can do this thing I want to achieve. The more we imagine it in our mind, the more we tell ourselves with positive affirmation, I'm going to achieve my goal, the more we strengthen the brain cell connection. And as we make more connections, it's helping us to work with both sides of our brain. Whole brain living, whole being living. Right brain, creativity, vision, lots of good ideas. Equally important, left brain. Make a strategy, have a plan, so you can be effective in your actions. And the more interactive balance we have between our right brain and our left brain, the more effective we are. And you can look throughout history, going back hundreds and thousands of years, and you will see the most brilliant people that have ever lived have this brain balance. It's also true for each of us. At whatever level we are in life, the more we learn to balance both sides of our brain, the more effective it makes us, because we're finding answers and solutions and new ideas, and we're able to step forward and put those new ideas into practice and use them. If you think you can, you probably will, because thinking you can joins the brain cells, brings the idea, releases the serotonin, gives you a good feeling, empowers your behavior so you can step forward and achieve your goal, put it into action. But if you think you can't, you probably won't. When you think negatively about yourself, about your life, about the situation you are in, the negative thought starts in the middle of the brain cell, travels along the arms, but it's releasing a different chemical into your brain and body, cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone. It is part of your fight or flight response. If you're in a situation that you believe is dangerous, your brain and your body release cortisol. It gives you the feeling of fear so that you pull back and take more care. It's also the chemical that's creating sadness. It's part of our fight and flight response because thousands of years ago, it was important that if we were facing the danger of a wild animal, a hungry bear, or wild wolves that wanted to eat us for lunch, we would release cortisol. The fear would make us take more care. And the cortisol is also chemical messenger. It tells the digestion to stop. It closes the lymph system, which cleans our body, and it closes down whole areas of the brain, and it also closes down our immune system. And all the energy that is saved by closing those systems is sent to our muscles with adrenaline and endorphin, so we can fight or flight and survive the danger. And it works amazingly well. The challenge in modern life is that sometimes the system is working against us. Because in modern life, the dangers we face are very different. There is not often a hungry bear. There is not often a pack of wild animals that want to eat us. What is more often the danger is that we are worrying about our future. We're worrying about our finances and can we provide good life for our family, for our children, for our loved ones. And we're worrying about our own happiness. We're worrying about our health, and especially in this past 2 years of COVID-19. So many people are worrying about the future. And when you worry, your brain does not know the difference between the worry and a real physical danger. And so when you worry, you are releasing lots of cortisol into your system. And the cortisol is giving you the feeling of anxiety and fear and depression. And it's also closing down your digestion and immune system and lymph system. And this can be a very damaging thing for very many people, because many people are going into fear and they are staying in fear about the future. It's not a momentary threat of a wild animal where they run away. It's an ongoing fear because they are worried about the future and they're worried about their situation. And it sends people into depression. And when you're in prolonged fear response, it makes you sick because your digestion isn't working. It's suppressed by the cortisol, preparing your body to run or fight. Your immune system, when you're in stress, is not working. And that's why people pick up colds and flus and more serious illness. And when they go into long periods of sadness or depression or fear, a lymph system isn't working. That's why people in stress start to become toxic. To make things even worse, cortisol is a neuroinhibitor. The more sad and fearful we become, the more our brain is closing down. And that means the problem is looking bigger, 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 bigger in our mind. The survival system that has protected people for so many hundreds of thousands of years in modern life really isn't working well for us. In fact, for many people, it is blocking them because the answers, the solutions to life's modern problems are often on the periphery, the edge of our vision. Many times, life's modern problems, like increasing our economy, raising our income, need a creative solution. Creative solution. They are not the things to be in fear of and run away from. If our brain is closing down, we are seeing more of the problem. And instead, what we need to do is to expand our mind by forming more brain cell connections and staying positive. And one of the best ways to do this is by setting goals. The first goal that I set was to learn to read. I didn't go back to a night school or those things. I just set the goal and I imagined myself being able to read, and I told myself every day I could do it. I can read, I can read, I can read, I can read. And it was hard because my brain was saying, no, you can't, no, you can't, no, you can't. But using your free will, you're able to stimulate new brain cell connections. And as I made new brain cell connections, the words come into focus. And within 1 year, I'd learned to read really well. And within 1.5 years, I'd learned to speed read. And I started to read lots of personal development and self-help books. And all the books that I was reading had ideas about self-motivation, techniques for positive thinking and goal setting. And I studied those techniques and I used them and my life improved. Work life was the easiest area to see the improvement. And my performance in the team rose from the lowest person to the highest person. And I started to put on trainings for the rest of the team so they could use the techniques I was learning. And then gradually more and more of my time was being taken as being a trainer. And so I become full-time personal development trainer in 1994. And the thing that I was so interested in was finding the most powerful goal-setting techniques, because I really believe it's important to teach goal-setting to our children. If we can help our young people understand the science of positive thinking and goal setting, it is skills they can use for the rest of their life. And they can use them in every area of their life. Some people make the mistake that positive thinking is about walking through your life with your head in the clouds, pretending everything is wonderful, even when it is not. But really, that is not positive thinking, that is delusion. Positive thinking is about being aware of the problem, the negative, and choosing to stay focused on solutions, answers, the positive. And by choosing to stay focused on the positive, we are commanding our subconscious to move us towards our goal. The most powerful way is using the combination of words for the left brain, logical mind, and imagery for the right brain and subconscious mind. And the goal map is doing this in such a great way by using this combination of words and pictures. This is one of my goal maps. My big goal is to reach 7 million people and to help them improve their lives with goal mapping around the world. I make many of presentations free. There are lots of free resources for people to be able to go and create their map. It is creating your goal map that is the most important thing. I wish we had more time to talk together because there is a whole day workshop of information I would like to share with you. But the most important thing is creating your map. If you will create your goal map, that will help to activate both sides of your brain. That will help to form the brain cell connections. That will help you to be clear about where you want to go. It will also program your subconscious mind to help you notice new opportunities created by all the change that is happening, and also to find a level of confidence and self-belief that empower you to step forward and to take the new opportunities that are created. If you imagine back to the time when you were in school, the major focus in our education, and I know that Finland has one of the best education systems in the world. I've been so inspired by the approach of Finland with education. I think they have it so much better than we do here in England. The focus here in England and in many other countries is mostly on technical knowledge and skill training. This has also been the major focus in most businesses. When you are leaving school and you are joining a new organization, you are receiving induction training on knowledge and skills. But what is interesting is that many studies have been conducted by the top universities in the world, such as Harvard Business School or Yale or Oxford. And when the universities are doing studies on effectiveness, if they take 5 people from any area of life, and if they put those 5 people together to do the same thing, and the 5 people have the same level of knowledge, same level of skill, same level of qualification, always in all of the studies, one of the 5 people is rising up to be top performer in the team. 3 are normally average, okay. 1 person is falling below the expected level. The question that business leaders and educationalists have asked for many years is why? If we have 5 good people and they all have the same knowledge and skill, why is 1 rising up to be a star? 3 are average and 1 is not making the expected level. It's because there is 3rd area. I call it DAC factor: drive, attitude, confidence. Your ability to turn on good levels of self-motivation or drive. Your ability to stay positive even in a negative situation. Your ability to step forward with confidence will determine what you do with the technical knowledge and the skill training. And we can see it here in this analogy of the bicycle of ability. Imagine that whatever you do in life is like a bicycle you are riding. The back wheel is the knowledge and skills. The front wheel is people skills, social skills. We need both. And of course, it is you that is riding the bicycle every day. Drive, attitude, and confidence is the starting place of the power. Your mindset is the power to use your skill set. It helps you to be your best in your social set with people around you. And think about yourself as like a bicycle. Mentally, emotionally, humans are very much like a bicycle. If we are not moving forward, we start to lose our equilibrium, our balance, and we fall over. Having a goal, having a purpose, having a direction helps us to have momentum. And as we move forwards in our life towards a passion, a purpose, a goal, it helps give us stability, even in difficult times. And it helps us to grow our mindset. As we step towards a new achievement, we grow, we learn more, we become more, we achieve more, and that helps us set even bigger goals. It becomes virtuous circle. So let us look at the 7 steps of goal mapping, 7 simple steps. And I recommend that you download the printable templates and do your map on paper, but even more powerful is to do your map online. Go to goalmapping.com. You can create your online goal map for absolutely free. And you can also download the paper templates there if you want to do on paper. But with the online program, you can use selfie photos, you can use family photos, you can download imagery from the internet, and you can change your map and update the map. And it is the most powerful way to command your subconscious mind. Always the combination of words and pictures. If you will go to the online program, you will find there special 10-minute guided visualization from me, helping you to imagine your best life in the future. It will take you just 10 minutes. Go through the visualization and then write down your goals. We have a special goal field for you to write in. And then in the second step, left brain logic, we need to identify the main goal that goes into the center of the map. This is the goal that will most help you to achieve the other goals. Then choose 4 more goals that you put on either side of your map. These can be from all different areas of your life or all from the same area. And then in step 3, create the imagery. If you want to download the paper templates, then find some coloring pens and draw the images. If you're creating your map online, you can upload photos into a private folder, or you can download from the internet. In step 4, top of the map, why? What are your strong reasons? They are often, as in the example here, more freedom in life, to be able to give more to my family and for myself, to live my best, be my best, achieve my full potential. And then when? Without a date, it's not a goal, it's a wish. So we need start date, and you can see here, I've got a start date at 20th of the 4th, 2020, and then achievement date for the main goal. And we put the date into both the word map and the picture map. And then step 6, how? What are the 3 most important things we will need to do to move towards the goal? And if you are using the online program, you can add in much, much more detail. On paper, you are limited by the size of the page. I'll just take one of my maps here. So you can only give so much detail when it's on paper. But online, you can expand out into much detail. Final step, step 7, who? Whose help do you desire or require to take the actions to move along the path to achieve your goal? You'll see that the how and the who are opposite each other. Whatever action you have stated, ask who will help. If the who is you, say the way of being that would help you, such as being focused. I am focused. You'll notice here with the words of the map, they are all written in the I am statement. Affirmation is always written I am, or I have, or I own. Whatever words fit your goal. But by saying I am, I have, I earn, I own, you are making the goal now, like in the visualization. That is commanding your subconscious and universal conscious mind to move you towards the goal. You can create many maps. I have like 5, 6 of my own maps always for different areas of my life. You can go into more detail. You can take any aspect of the map and also have that as a main goal. And I recommend that you create goal maps for different areas of life. This is my map for health and well-being. I have maps for work. I have maps for relationship. Once you have your map, sign it, see it once each day for 30 days. And as you look at your map, say the words, because then you're acting both sides of your brain. Share it with other people that will support you, because that builds great power. Remember, you can download the free templates. You can connect on the Facebook group of goal mapping or LinkedIn. Here is a goal map from Microsoft. Here's a goal map from the Italian tourist department. There are also children's goal maps, of course. The online system, absolutely free for people to use. You can watch there more video from me explaining in more detail about the program. And of course, you can also create your map. And for people at the gold level, we have a special gold lounge. The essence of the program, very simple. Think your best thoughts. That will help you feel your best feelings, take your best actions, and you will live your best life. Create your map, please. It is creating the map that makes the magic work. I hope you found it interesting. I wish we had more time together. I do run regular free evening presentations if you'd like to join. And I want to thank the leaders of Zinzino, Finland, for giving me this opportunity to share the magic of goal mapping.